All right, Congressman Green's repeated outbursts led to his eventual removal from the president's joint address, as we now know. Let's replay that for our audience now.
Your warning. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
And he doubled down on defending his behavior yesterday before this morning's censure.
I heard the speaker when he said that I should cease. I did not, and I did not with intentionality. It was not done out of a burst of emotion. I was emotional about it. I would do it again. I have to be candid with you. I'm not trying to in some way insult you. This is a matter of principle. This is a matter of conscience.
Republican Congressman James Comer of Kentucky joins us now, chairman of the Oversight Committee. How did that sit with you? Welcome.
Not well, but it's par for the course with Representative Green. I mean, that was clearly a stunt, but to stand up and disrupt the president's address to Congress, that was bad enough, but to wave your cane and try to invoke a scene of violence like you're fighting and all of that's just not where America wants to see our Congress behave. I mean, you can have disagreements with the president. You can boo the president. You can stand and you don't clap. But standing up and disrupting it and waving a cane, that's unacceptable. And the House did appropriate action today by formally censuring him. And I'm glad that 10 Democrats joined with us in that vote.
Do you think this will curb more behavior like that?
I hope so, but more than likely it'll probably encourage more bad behavior, because when I have outbursts in the Oversight Committee, and I had one yesterday with Representative Presley, they get rewarded by going on MSNBC and the other liberal networks, and that's unfortunate because you're making a toxic environment even more toxic when the American people expect us to agree on things like reducing wasteful spending and trying to have peace around the world. But these are the issues where the Democrats are creating most of the chaos to try to disrupt Congress.
Well, yesterday, another very dramatic scene playing out on Capitol Hill. Congressman, House Oversight Republicans ripped into 4 Democratic sanctuary city mayors in a hearing. The lawmakers brought up violent crime and massive sums of taxpayer money spent to accuse the city leaders of having blood on their hands. One example of crime came when this newly released video out of Denver was brought up at that hearing. You can see ICE agents chasing down and arresting a suspected member of the violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. The incident came after a Denver jail was forced to release the suspect because of the city's sanctuary policies. ICE then had to arrest him in public, where he assaulted officers. That scene led to this tense exchange with Denver's Mayor Mike Johnston.
Did you release him to the streets? You release him to ICE?
What we do, sir, is we release him from our county jail, and we coordinate with ICE on that release time and release date so that ICE can come and pick them up from that location.
You can say, hey, what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to hold him. You come in and bring 2 officers in, and you turn him over there. Why not do it that way?
We have a city ordinance.
You know why you don't do it that way?
We have a city ordinance that governs.
Because you're a sanctuary city. This is the whole point.
And that wasn't the only fiery moment from the hearing, including progressive Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley also getting into it with you.
It's total absolute. They are not making America safer again. And what they are doing is terrorizing immigrant families. That is what they are doing.
Let me proceed. Data from Texas shows that U.S.-born Americans commit more rape and murder than immigrants.
Listen, this trend of you all trying to get thrown out of committee so you can get on MSNBC is going to end. We're not going to put up with it.
This is my procedural right as a member of this committee
you can go with Mr. Frost and Mr. Green.
I am reclaiming my time.
That's what you want. No. Ms. Presley, I have been very accommodating to you. Mr. Subrajan,
and I take particular umbrage as a survivor of sexual violence. I will enter into the record. This is my right. Thank you.
No.
That was a congressman. Your thoughts on that?
Look, it wasn't her turn to speak. Everyone's watched congressional hearings. Everybody gets equal time. You rotate between Republicans and Democrats. She kept interrupting. She wanted to be thrown out. She wanted to have that viral moment. And it makes it impossible to govern in this toxic environment when you have these liberal Democrats that are disrupting. That was a serious substantive hearing about sanctuary cities and who's paying for this and the threat to our ICE officers who are trying to go into these sanctuary cities and deport the criminal illegals. And what you showed there in Denver was the mayor intentionally let that criminal alien out and forced ICE to have to catch him on the street instead of transferring them in a prison. I mean, that puts our ICE agents' lives at risk. That creates a public safety hazard. What if they had gotten into a shootout or somebody had stolen a car and people get killed on the streets? That is all because you have these liberal mayors that are pandering to the illegal populations they have in their cities now and pandering to their liberal base. And the American people are fed up with it. They want Congress to secure the border and to deport the criminal illegals. And that's what that hearing was about yesterday. And the Democrats try to make it about something else.
And what we heard in the election, where people on the left and the right are fed up with this, what is happening in their cities, coast to coast. Congressman, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.